Cheating. While some people are busy building relationships, others seem to be testing how far their limits can go. Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. In today's episode we are talking about cheating, and to do that I will use season 1 of Why Women Kill as an example. This TV show is just crazy when it comes to relationship dynamics. It follows 3 American couples from different times, from 60s, 80s and 2019. Different times, different influences, different social influences, different vibes, but all of them have one thing in common: dysfunctional relationships. Each couple struggles with communication and without even realizing it tries to fill their emotional gap using a triangle. In that case, inviting a lover in their relationship. And today I will be talking about Beth Ann and Rob, a classic old-school patriarchal couple from 60s. She's a housewife, he's a breadwinner who constantly cheats on her. But is this couple just about patriarchy? The idea that a man is entitled to have it all, a loyal wife at home and a passion on the side? Or is it something deeper going on between them? Hi, my name is Anna. I'm certified relationship coach based in Germany. And on this channel I explore relationship dynamics through popular movies and TV shows, helping you understand complex psychological patterns using well-known characters and stories. Their relationship built not on closeness but on roles. He is a provider and the man of the house. She is a obedient wife and the keeper of the home. There's no real emotional connection between them, no deep or honest communication. Their marriage feels more like a performance, a game of a family where each person just plays their part. On the surface, everything looks perfect. A successful husband, a nice house and a flawless housewife. All signs of a happy family. Today we'd probably call it an Instagram family. But behind that beautiful picture there's emotional isolation and constant dissatisfaction on both sides. Neither of them was truly happy in this marriage. On one side we have Rob, a controlling narcissistic man with a huge need for admiration and constant validation. He doesn't want his wife to have a life or identity outside their marriage. It threatens his sense of importance, his sense of security, but he doesn't control her with direct rules like "you can't do this." Instead, he manipulates her using her weaknesses. On the other side, there's a Beth Ann, fully playing the carefully prepared for her role of the obedient housewife. She hides her sexuality, her needs, and avoids conflict at all costs. She dissolves completely into her husband, living only for his desires. Her identity doesn't exist without him. For a long time, Beth Ann is fine with it. She never even thinks life could be any other way. To show Beth Ann's inner world, the story opens with a telling scene. Rob asks for coffee and the Italian neighbor is shocked at his rude behavior. But Beth Ann immediately jumps to defend him, defending the life she was raised in, the life she knows and the life she believes is right. She is his first supporter, proud to serve.
Honey, does my tapping offend you?
Of course not. Rob is such a wonderful provider. I consider it an honor to take care of him.
Everything changes when Beth Ann finds out about her husband's affair. But it's not just the cheating itself, it's how she starts interacting with Rob's mistress, with April. That interaction awakens a curiosity in her, a curiosity about the life beyond her role as a wife. She begins to remember her own desires and suddenly she has a life outside of his control. And that's what brings all the change. What is really interesting in their relationship is that both of them are living secret lives and both are involved with a mistress in this triangle. At some point, Beth Ann even puts April above Rob, skipping the game with him to go to a concert with her. Strange, right? Wasn't the whole point of their relationship to win him back? What's changed? For Beth Ann, her marriage isn't just a relationship, it is her entire identity. She doesn't know who she would be if she weren't Rob's wife. That's why she kept quiet about the affair. If she confronted him, the whole perfect marriage image would collapse, along with her sense of self. And yet she's exhausted, trapped in a life that doesn't satisfy her. And with April, Beth Ann takes on a new role, a role of a widow. It is safe. It gives her a chance to explore herself again, because Back at home, nothing changed. No risks, she can always return to her old life with lies. But on the outside, she also gets a taste of freedom, a secret life like Rob. This secret life gives her a taste of control. Once the shock of the affair fades, Beth Ann is finally in the know, and Rob isn't. For a woman whose entire life was ruled by her husband, knowing more than him is the first taste of power, even if it's a twisted kind. She starts to enjoy this double life. Outside, she's a perfect housewife. Inside, a keen observer quietly plotting her next move. That feeling of hidden power, absolutely intoxicating. By the way, a similar dynamic shows up in season 2 of Why Women Kill with Alma. Interestingly, both women, Alma and Beth Ann, have a low, unstable self-esteem. Unstable self-esteem means that how we feel or see ourselves depends entirely on how others see us and what they say about us. That's exactly why Beth Ann gave up playing piano. One word from Rob, just him saying she wasn't that good, was enough to crush her confidence even after she practiced for years. And from Rob's side, that was a manipulation. He deliberately undermined her talent, even though he later admitted to his mistress that Beth Ann had actually performed well. Why does this happen? Rob is a narcissist, and he has a very clear behavior pattern. He divides the woman in his life into two categories, into two roles. First one is the wife, the mother of his children, his comfort and social face. And the second one is Mistress, this passion, sex, and love. And these two roles never overlap. And this is not about a Madonna whore complex, because Rob doesn't idealize or despise anyone. What we see here is a narcissistic splitting. At home, Rob needs safety and constant control. One woman, the wife, maintains his social mask, supporting his image as a respected man. His wife's life has to revolve around him, otherwise he doesn't feel secure. There is a scene where Beth Ann plays piano. Influenced by April, her ambitious to be a singer, Beth Ann reconnects with her own passion. At first, Rob doesn't even care if she plays or not. But once he hears how good she is and how much joy it brings her, it starts to annoy him. He feels the change in Beth Ann and it puts him off balance. In the Olive and Martini scene, he uses domestic helplessness as a tool of pressure. He tests his control over Beth Ann, suppressing her individuality. But there's a flip side. In his desire for control and safety at home, Rob turns his wife into an object, a part of household comfortable to have around, but not a person with her own feelings and desires. To keep passion alive in a relationship, especially in a long-term one, a partner needs to remain an individual with their own feelings, hobbies, space, friends, and opinions. As soon as Beth Ann loses her individuality, Rob stops desiring her and looks elsewhere to satisfy his needs. This is why he needs a mistress. He's not looking for two women to love, he's looking for two functions. One woman maintains his social mask, supporting his image. The other feeds his grandiosity and sense of attractiveness. This is his narcissistic supply, his mistress. There's a trap with men like Rob. Beth Ann gives up her individuality to please him, to please Rob, to live peacefully with him. That is what he wanted. And that is exactly why he loses interest in her. The same scenario plays out with April. As soon as Rob learns she's pregnant and could become his wife, he decides she must stop singing. And again, he manipulates her. Singing is nonsense, indirectly shaping how she sees herself. If Rob and April had ended up together, she would have faced the same fate as Beth Ann. And here is one more thing. Rob's affairs comes with another price tag as well. They don't just destroy his marriage, they slowly poison his whole life, and him most of all. Living a double life, constantly cheating on his wife while pretending to be a respectable family man, traps him in his own lies. He can't afford to be vulnerable, honest, or open, because that would expose everything. And once the mask slips, he'd have to take responsibility. He'd lose his image. And that is most frightening to a narcissist. There is a scene where Rob tries to step in and protect a neighbor from her abusive husband. But the man throws it right back at him. You can cheat all you want, but stay out of my life. And Rob, afraid of scandal, backs off. He wants to do the right thing, but his own dirt drags him down. This is also why Rob blames Beth Ann for the death of the child. On one hand, he feels guilty for the tragedy, which is why he insists sees they move. He can't face the feelings in the old house and can't see the pictures. But he faces his guilt and grief alone because he can't talk to his wife. To be honest with her, he'd had to confess his affairs. So instead, Rob projected all of it onto Beth Ann. His guilt, shame, anger, a cruel way to deal and share his emotions. And this is how he protects himself while keeping Beth Ann under control. Guilt is one of the strongest tools of psychological control. When someone believes it is my fault, they stop defending their boundaries, their desires, their dreams. That is exactly what happens to Beth Ann. Overwhelmed by guilt, she excuses Rob, ignores his faults, and let him dictate his rules. If she knew the truth, there's a higher chance she would have left him. Beth Ann's story isn't just about revenge, it's psychological awakening. Instead of being crushed by pain, she uses the situation to reclaim her power. Her friendship with Mistress is the key to this transformation. It helps her to break free from her old role. And in the end, Beth Ann stays with April, helping her to raise a child, cutting Rob out of this triangle. Because the friendship, the bond between them, between April and Beth Ann, is stronger and more realistic, more real than anything they ever had with Rob. And that is my take on this couple. What do you think? Did you enjoy watching Why Women Kill? And who is your favorite couple? Let's chat in the comments. And make sure you subscribe this channel so you don't miss the next videos. Thank you for watching to the end, and I see you in the next one. Bye bye.